What's up, Celtics Nation? Today we're diving deep into a situation that's got everybody talking in Boston and across the league. There's no sugarcoating it. Jason Tatum's injury in the first round of the playoffs against the Knicks was a gut punch. An Achilles issue, serious enough that he's now expected to be out for 10 to 12 months. That's not just a few games or even half a season. We're talking about most, if not all, of the next year without one of the most dominant forwards in the game. And yet somehow the vibe coming out of the Celtics locker room isn't panic. It's belief, confidence, a sense of unfinished business, and a hunger to prove that this team is built for more than just one superstar. Now, let's get something straight. Losing a player like Tatum would sink most teams. He's not just a scorer, he's a leader, a two-way force, and the guy who draws the attention of every defense night in and night out. But Boston's not most teams. And that's the difference here. Instead of folding or preparing for a rebuilding phase, the Celtics are looking around at their roster and saying, we still got this. Take Drew Holiday, for example. A champion, a vet, a guy who knows what it takes to go all the way. He came out and said it straight. The Celtics still have a real shot at another title. And he wasn't just giving a diplomatic answer. You could hear the conviction in his words. He talked about the depth of talent, not just among the players, but throughout the entire organization. From the coaching staff to the front office, led by Brad Stevens, there's a culture of competitiveness that doesn't just disappear because of one injury, no matter how big the name. Holiday made it clear that the window to win is still wide open, and he wants to be part of it. That's a huge statement. When a guy with his resume says he believes, it echoes through the entire locker room. And he's not alone. Peyton Pritchard, who took home Sixth Man of the Year honors this past season, echoed that same confidence. According to him, this team isn't just going to survive without Tatum. They're going to thrive. They're going to step up, lean on each other, and grind out every single game. Pritchard said it best. Guys are going to take on bigger roles, and they got to be ready to embrace those moments. That's what separates good teams from great ones. The ability to rise in adversity, to turn setbacks into opportunities. And Boston has no shortage of players who can elevate their game. The regular season already gave us a glimpse of that. In the 10 games Tatum missed, the Celtics went 8-2, putting up solid numbers and playing with purpose. They weren't just scraping by, they were dominating. That brings us to Jaylen Brown. With Tatum out, all eyes naturally shift to him. And man, did he deliver in that first game post-Tatum against the Knicks. 26 points, 8 rebounds, 12 assists. He wasn't just scoring, he was doing it all. Leadership, playmaking, defending, you name it. And that performance wasn't a fluke. Brown's been evolving into more than just a second option. He's ready to be the guy when needed. He's got that fire, that edge, and the team is clearly ready to rally behind him. And it's not just the stars who are stepping up. Torrey Craig, a veteran presence and a guy who knows what it means to play hard-nosed basketball, came out and said it plainly. This team can still compete for a championship even without Tatum. That's not blind optimism. That's belief-rooted. In experience, Craig understands the game on a deeper level, and he's seen firsthand what it takes to win in this league. His confidence speaks volumes, but of course belief alone doesn't win games. Talent matters, chemistry matters, and finances? Oh, they matter a lot. The Celtics are staring down a potentially historic bill of $500 million. Combo of payroll and luxury tax. That would be the most expensive team in NBA history. Let that sink in. And it's not just about the money. It's about how they spend it. Veterans like Al Horford, Luke Cornett, and yes, Torrey Craig are all set to hit free agency. Tough decisions are coming. Management is going to have to look in the mirror and ask themselves, do we believe in this core the same way our players do? Are we ready to double down and keep this team intact even with Tatum sidelined? Because, make no mistake, the opportunity is there. The East is competitive, sure, but Boston has the pieces. They've got a defensive identity, shooters, veterans, rising stars. The blueprint is in place. Now it's about execution. We've seen teams fall apart when a star goes down, but we've also seen teams band together, tighten up, and play some of the best basketball of their lives. Boston's recent run without Tatum shows they're capable of the latter. The question now is, can they do it over an entire season? Can they weather the storm, keep the momentum, and stay hungry from October through May? There's no easy answer, but if you listen to the locker room, if you really hear what these players are saying, it's clear they're not just showing up, they're coming for it all. And they're not waiting for Tatum to come back to start chasing that banner. Boston's got the mentality, they've got the pedigree, and now they've got something to prove. So where do the Celtics go from here? The road ahead isn't going to be smooth, and everyone inside the organization knows that. But there's something about adversity that either cracks a team or forges it into something stronger. The Celtics are betting on the latter. Without Jason Tatum on the court, every player will be forced to dig deeper to find that extra gear. It's not just about numbers on the stat sheet anymore. It's about identity, chemistry, resilience, and you can already feel that mindset settling into this group. Let's talk about the mentality of the guys on this roster, starting with someone like Derek White. He's been one of the most consistent and underrated two-way players in the league, always stepping up in big moments, especially in the playoffs. With Tatum out, his role expands, not just in terms of scoring, but also in leadership. He's a glue guy, someone who holds things together when chaos starts to creep in. That type of presence becomes even more valuable when your best player is sidelined for months. Then there's Kristaps Porzingis. When Boston brought him in, there were questions. Could he stay healthy? Could he fit in with this group of already established stars? But since arriving, he's shown flashes of brilliance, the kind of skill set that stretches the floor and creates matchup nightmares for opponents. He's not going to replace Tatum, no one can, but his ability to be a reliable scoring option from both inside and beyond the arc becomes essential now. Porzingis has been through his share of ups and downs in the league, but this might be his most important chapter yet. He's going to be leaned on heavily, and that spotlight could push him to another level. We can't ignore the coaching staff either. Joe Mazzulla is entering a defining season. Without his top player, he'll have to craft a system that maximizes everyone else's strengths while masking the absence of a true superstar. It's one thing to coach when your roster is healthy and rolling. It's another to adjust on the fly, experiment with rotations, and build momentum with limited tools. This upcoming stretch is going to reveal just how creative and adaptable this coaching staff really is. And honestly, that challenge could be the key to long-term growth. Coaches talk about next man up all the time, but now it's a real-life test. Boston also has the benefit of continuity. This isn't a team slapped together overnight. Most of these players have been through battles together. Deep playoff runs, tough losses, big wins. That shared history counts for something. Chemistry like that can't be faked. It shows up in the fourth quarter when the game is tight. It shows up in the defensive rotations, the quick passes, the trust to take or pass up, a shot for the better play. With Tatum out, that trust becomes the foundation. Every player has to feel empowered, and that empowerment starts at the top. Speaking of the top, let's talk about Brad Stevens. He's no longer pacing the sidelines, but his fingerprints are all over this roster. Since stepping into the front office, Stevens has made bold moves, sometimes unpopular, often risky, but always with a long-term vision in mind. And now that vision is being put to the ultimate test. Does he keep this team intact despite the massive financial burden? Does he roll the dice on youth or look for veterans who can fill the gaps without disrupting the chemistry? It's a high-stakes situation. The Celtics are flirting with a luxury tax bill that would make even the most aggressive front offices. Pause. $500 million. That's the price tag of contention in today's NBA if you want to keep your core together. Al Horford, one of the most respected voices in that locker room, is a free agent. So is Luke Cornett and Torrey Craig. Those aren't just filler names. They're role players who understand their jobs, stay ready, and don't complain about minutes. Losing even one of them could shift the entire balance. So what does the front office prioritize? Do they bank on internal development and hope younger players like Sam Hauser or Neemias Queta take the leap? Or do they explore trades, maybe move a mid-level contract to bring in someone more established? The answer could change the course of the entire season. And every move has to be calculated because you're not just building a roster, you're maintaining belief. The players have made it clear they still believe they can win. Now management has to prove they believe too. And let's not forget, The fans. Boston has one of the most passionate, knowledgeable, and demanding fan bases in the league. They know what winning basketball looks like. They've seen the banners, they've lived the heartbreaks, and they don't want excuses. They want grit, they want hustle. They want to see a team that fights every night, regardless of who's in the lineup. That energy from the crowd, especially at TD Garden, is a weapon. If this team shows effort and hunger, the city will rally behind them. But if they fall flat, the scrutiny will be relentless. Looking ahead, the regular season becomes about more than just securing a good seed. It becomes a proving ground. Can Jaylen Brown anchor a team as the #1 option over 80+ games? Can Porzingis stay healthy and productive? Can Derek White, Drew Holiday, and the rest of the supporting cast push their games to new heights? Every question is fair, but so is the belief that the answers might be even better than expected. There's also the wild card, Tatum's recovery. While the expectation is that he'll miss most or all of the season, what if he returns earlier than planned? What if Boston secures a playoff spot and gets their superstar back just in time for a late run? That possibility, even if slim, hangs in the air like a spark. And for a team that already believes in themselves, that kind of boost could be electric, but they can't wait for that. They can't rely on a hypothetical savior. The mission has to be clear from day one. Build habits, win games, compete like every possession matters. Because in the end, the journey is what defines this team, not just the outcome. Everyone in that locker room knows that nothing is guaranteed, and yet there's no hesitation. They're ready to go to war with the roster they have, the chemistry they've built, and the belief that runs deep through every practice, every timeout, every possession. So while the outside world might write them off without Tatum, the Celtics aren't buying into that narrative. They're writing their own. A story of resilience and teamwork and unfinished business. And when that ball tips off next season, it won't just be about surviving. It'll be about proving they're still elite, with or without their superstar. This team isn't just holding on. They're coming hard, and the league better be ready. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In a move that's sending shockwaves throughout the NBA landscape, rumors are swirling that the Boston Celtics are on the verge of pulling off a blockbuster double signing that could redefine their season, and perhaps the entire league. Sources close to the organization hint that Kevin Durant and Zach LaVine might soon be donning the iconic green jersey, a potential pairing that's igniting a firestorm of speculation among fans and analysts alike. Imagine the Celtics already. Formidable lineup bolstered by Durant's silky scoring ability and veteran leadership, combined with LaVine's explosive athleticism and sharp shooting prowess. It's the kind of talent fusion that could instantly transform Boston into a championship favorite, creating a juggernaut that few teams would dare to challenge. While nothing has been officially confirmed, whispers of ongoing negotiations have been circulating, leaving the NBA community buzzing with anticipation. Kevin Durant, one of the game's most prolific scorers and a two-time NBA Finals MVP, brings not only offensive brilliance but also invaluable playoff experience. His move to Boston would signal a strategic pivot for the Celtics, who are clearly aiming to maximize their window for a title run. Meanwhile, Zach LaVine, known for his highlight reel dunks and clutch shooting, would add a dynamic edge to Boston's backcourt, providing versatility and scoring punch that complements Durant's style. The Celtics, already a team built on strong defense and unselfish play, could see their offensive capabilities skyrocket with these additions. The thought of Durant and LaVine thriving alongside established stars like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown is enough to make rival teams uneasy. This potential duo could unlock new dimensions in Boston's offensive schemes, forcing opponents to rethink their defensive game plans entirely, while the financial and contractual logistics of acquiring two-star players simultaneously are complex. The Celtics front office has a reputation for bold, calculated moves. If these rumors bear fruit, it would not only be one of the biggest surprises of the offseason, but also a clear message. Boston is all in on chasing the championship with a revamped, star-studded roster. The league waits with bated breath as this rumor gains traction. Could the Celtics really pull off this double coup and shake up the NBA hierarchy? Only time will tell, but the mere possibility has already set the basketball world abuzz, turning what might have been a routine offseason into a thrilling saga of ambition and high stakes. Fans are eagerly watching, hoping the Celtics can deliver what would undoubtedly be one of the most electrifying storylines in recent NBA history. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.